What is up, everyone? It's your boy Edgar Ibarra. How you doing this beautiful Wednesday evening? I had to think about that for a moment. Good news, we are only 2 days away from the grand premiere of the film All We Have at Harkins on the South Side. Let me go over the most important aspect I want to talk about. I want to tackle right away, which is basically social distancing, masks. You got to follow the CDC recommendations. Otherwise, come on over, come to the movies. Oh, and please don't come to the theater if you're feeling sick, even if it's just a cold or whatnot. I want you to stay home, be safe, feel better. And again, coming to the theaters, mask, social distancing, all that good stuff. Once you're seated, you can take off your mask, eat your munchies in your seat, and enjoy all we have. So, first item I wanted to cover. Big thanks to, let me go ahead and pull up my, let me see. Yes, okay, here we go. Big thanks to Liliana Lopez and Jose Rodriguez for the article that they wrote up on All We Have, a little bit about myself, etc., in La Estrella de Tucson. I'm going to go ahead and put that article in the body of this post as well as in the comments. And also in the comments, you'll find tickets to All We Have. Coming up, let me go ahead and bring myself on back on camera. So, yes, mil gracias a Liliana y también a José por el artículo. Les agradezco de todo corazón el artículo. Oh my God, where am I? Okay, there. Okay, so I'm still not there. So, mil gracias por el artículo. Se los agradezco de todo corazón. Ese artículo, el enlace lo voy a poner en el post actual y también en los comentarios. So, there you go. And then also, thank you to Jeannie Joseph and the Independent Film Arizona group. I am thrilled to be there on Tuesday, and thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. So, let's go ahead and 9:53. How can I have been live for 9:53? Weird. Okay. Well, that count is obviously different, but oh my God. I had the pleasure of talking with Mr. Paul Cicala a few days ago because he saw All We Have, and I wanted for you guys to kind of hear what he had to say about the movie, the screening, etc. So let's go ahead and take a look at that interview. Enjoy, and I'll see you on the other side. Friday the 26th, coming up in next week, and Saturday, a week from today, the 27th, are already really, really filling up. Filling up. Sunday, the 28th, is looking good as well. So let's go ahead and show people where they can just go on over to the Harkins website. If you just do a Google search for Harkins Theaters Tucson Spectrum 18, you'll find yourself at this window right here, which is the main one. Oddly enough, and very neat, is that like right there at the very top of the list, you have All We Have, right? So you just select the days, and then afterwards, it takes you straight to, or you select the movie, and it takes you straight to the movie page. And then going off of that, you can select, the day that you want to watch it, and then the time. And just like any other normal movie, you just buy a ticket, and nothing special to do. No, it's like going to the movies. And so again, main page right here, all we have is toward the top, and then you just select the movie and then go ahead and select your day and your time. It's really, really that simple. It's just like bringing anyone else to, like, a friend to the movie. And that's all we're really doing, Paul, is we're inviting. And do you recommend people come and watch this Tucson movie? Because again, I was embraced by Tucson. This is one of the products of being embraced by Tucson. And I'm so proud to be able to have made this movie in Tucson, to present it to Tucson, to have Tucson on the screen in front and behind the camera, and we're going to show it in Tucson. And so, like, but what's your 2 cents, Paul? Should people come on out and watch the movie at
No,
Harkins?
100% they should come out. And I want to reiterate too that besides going on out and wanting to support somebody from Tucson, supporting local film ventures, then supporting somebody like yourself that doesn't have millions of dollars for a budget to put together a film, and you did a
Yes.
great job. I mean, it's a good film. It's a good storyline. And I really want to talk
Thank
about
you,
it
Paul.
more, but I don't want to give away the ending to the viewers because I
Yeah.
thought the ending was great. And I'm not sure if you and I talked about this off camera, but
Uh-huh.
I want to bring it on camera just to make
Uh-huh.
sure that I was really appreciative of your cinematography. I
Thank
mean, I
you.
thought you did a great job during some of the emotional moments, doing the slow zooms inside and getting the facial reactions and
Yeah.
just things that aren't easy. And I mean, obviously, you and I kind of have a background. We know how to edit. We know how to put video and film together from our backgrounds in journalism and such. And to a lesser degree, filmmaking, at least on my
Yeah.
part, not yours. But I feel like, maybe some viewers at home may not appreciate that as much, but in the end they do, because it makes it flow better. The music is at the right time, and it really is a compelling story. If you don't mind me asking, I have some questions and I don't want
Yeah,
to give it away, but I mean, there's
definitely.
certain scenes that I saw, and as a Tucsonan and somebody that's from here, I take pride in seeing these landmarks of Tucson, so to say.
Yeah.
Quick question. I mean, I feel like I was able to make out a lot of the places where you'd film certain scenes, but where was that graduation ceremony filmed? That was at some sort of local park, I assume, right?
It was at a local park, and it was one of those cases where we had to do what we had to do to make it look like a graduation scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we turned a local park into a graduation scene, and that local park is over here on the east side, and it worked out just fine. And so many great people came out. When I put out a Facebook post and I said, "Hey, we have a graduation scene looking for people," so many great Tucsonans, Paul, came out. People that I had barely met on the spot, and they're just like, yeah, I'll be in this crazy movie without even maybe understanding the overall concept and whatnot. But yeah, local park. And let me cover some comments right here. Leila Herring
Yeah.
says, hello, you both. Great job, Edgar. Leila, thank you so much. Paul, Leila Herring is our production, our costume designer. Okay, I don't want to mess that up.
Hmm.
She's our costume designer for a few particular scenes. Leila, thank you so much for jumping in. Leila is actually one of the well-known names here in town as far as like for dress and costume design, along with Arturo Valenzuela. So Leila,
Hmm.
kudos to you. Thank you so much for being a part of this production. Charlie Min, two of the greatest guys in Tucson, two of the toughest guys in Tucson, young man, by the way. This
Toughest.
this
You must be
tough guy
talking
right
about
here.
you, not me, man.
This tough guy right here. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, Paul, like and going back to your comment about, not having millions of dollars. Correct. This was not $1 million production. This was a production that came together with blood, sweat, and tears, but more than anything with grit and perseverance to make a movie come to life with the good people and the resources that we have. Now, one thing I always like to stress, Paul, is that being I'm going to put the air quotes up here, low budget or independent or, it kind of conjures up like, okay, well, is this, what is this movie like? Is it going to be any good, right?
Yeah.
I always like to take that and then play the underdog and use that as my fuel to say, you know what, we're going to break your expectations and make a really good movie with very few dollars. And with the people that are at hand who had the kindest and biggest hearts to come on out and say, I'll be part of this crazy production, this crazy vision that Edgar had. So, yeah, that's how you make a movie because it goes to show that if you have the basics of, you know, a basic camera, basic editing system, we all have the internet, thank God. And so when you have the basics, then it just comes down to perseverance, grit, determination to get it done, to see it through. But also, most importantly, with the great help of a lot of great people that again came forward. And these were, I, I say of this of the background extras, and this is not going to surprise you, Paul. I say this of the background extras independent film like this is all fine and dandy, but it does not happen unless, in this case, Tucsonans came out and said, I'll be a part of that. So my heart is forever filled and grateful for exactly that. What can you add to that, Paul?
No, I can add that, and I know how hard it is to make a production, and for you to have the people come out, and not only that, but I don't know who was considered a quote unquote featured extra or who wasn't, but
Hmm.
I thought that most of the people that had even minor roles, a quick speaking role,
Yeah,
them pretending to, at the graduation ceremony, huddling around and cheering and stuff. And I
yeah,
don't know how many were actors and or how many were considered extras, but they did a great job. And at no point did I ever think that this was, this not a
yeah.
budget film, I guess you could say. This it didn't obviously, and it might have been a situation where you can't pay them a whole bunch of money.
But Paul,
But
it still works, right? It
oh,
still
big
works,
time,
and
and not
those guys.
just no, but not just that, but I feel like people out there need to realize, and I know that you have to deal with these factors as well. Just because it's a quote unquote low budget,
Yeah.
you don't have tens of thousands of dollars to put something together, it doesn't mean that you didn't bust your butt. I mean, I just
Oh
look at
yeah,
all the scenes and I
yeah,
can imagine how many times you probably shot each scene just to get it right. I
yeah.
mean, like 10, 15 times in some cases, probably, and then having to go through all that video and edit it and find the best stuff. And I mean, I wish people out there realize how hard it is to put together a film, especially low budget like yourself, because I'm sure that you had to pretty much do. you're grateful of all the help you had, but you in the end had to be the one that goes in and edits it and goes through all that video and this and that, and obviously you filmed it as well. But you know, I can see the hard work that was put in,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
as
And
a
and
viewer.
and I know that you know what it's all about, to open up a tripod, plop it down, get the camera on there and set things up. I mean, you
Mhm.
know the storytelling that goes into and the work that goes into the storytelling, Paul. I appreciate your observation of that work, brother, because I mean, man, it was blood, sweat, and tears all the way, but to bring this to life for Tucson is honestly one of my greatest dreams and whatnot. And so let's go ahead and show people once more. If they go to on over to the Harkins website, this is the main website. Movie All We Have is right there up top. Just click on the film, and then bam, you just select the day and the time that you want to check out the movie. And time slots are filling up actually, like a whole lot faster than I thought they would be filling up. But so that's pretty wild. But yeah, Paul,
Sunday
like
night though, that's key. I mean, Sunday night, I feel
yeah.
like you have some spots that are already there, and obviously you're not going to be able to get the packed house because of COVID-19 and the social distancing standards. But
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
I'm not surprised you have a big commitment already. I personally will plan on being there that Sunday, a week from Sunday. Since it's my first opportunity, I'm gonna have to watch the latest showing. What's the latest showing anyway on Sunday?
Say latest
Because I
showing,
do
I
work
believe,
on
is at
Sunday.
7:40. 7:40 on Sunday, Paul.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be there. Count me in. I mean, I'm gonna be
Thank
working, but
you.
I'm gonna rush right over there. And I obviously have already seen it, but there's something about going in person and seeing it on the big screen that's a little bit different with the Dolby sound and everything. And
Yeah. Well, that's a whole lot of fun when I forget to open my mic. Yeah, let's go ahead and my God, I did a whole spiel and I was muted. And I thought I checked that. Let me go ahead and raise my seat here for just a moment. But everyone, yeah. So that was Mr. Paul Cicala and I talking about Tucson and representing Tucson on screen because Tucson and its great people have been on the big screen, at the highest echelons of the Hollywood level and also here locally tons of times. And movies like this only happen because of Tucson. So thank you so much for watching that clip with Mr. Paul Seagal. I'm going to go ahead and rerun that right now. But again, I want you to come on out. It's going to be this Friday coming up, Friday the 26th. I'm so pumped because it's not every single day that a filmmaker can, it's not even every single year that a filmmaker can say, here, Tucson, I made this thing and I want you to watch it. I want you to check it out. So I'm beyond pumped to offer this up to bring you value, to just offer something for you to watch. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room because I love to just approach and also tackle the elephant in the room. You got to CDC guidelines, wear a mask, social distance, etc., etc. No one's saying you can't go to the movies. Just do it safely. I want you to come to the movies. If you're feeling sick, I want you to stay home and feel better. If you want to come on out to the movies and you have a mask and you can social distance and all that good stuff, no one's saying you can't. And I do hope that you can. If you choose to not to, I will understand, and there are no hard feelings. But I would love for you to come on out. And it was a tough decision to offer this Tucson screening when we're in the middle of, oh, I don't know, a once in a century pandemic. But I wanted to do the most that I could for the cast and crew for this film, etc. So it was not a decision I took lightly. So I do want you to come on out, enjoy this movie. But again, social distance, wash your hands, wear a mask, all that good stuff. Once you're seated, you can take your mask off, eat your popcorn, your red wines, etc. Right? Because you can't quite do that through a mask. So that said, let's go ahead and go on to two other items of business. Thank you so much to, and let me see if I can pull it up, Liliana Lopez, for the interview in La Estrella de Tucson. This talks about the film, a little bit about me, how the production came about, etc. And this article just came out. I'm going to go ahead and put this article, it came out today, Wednesday. I'm going to go ahead and put the online version link in the body of the description, as well as linked so that you can buy tickets to go watch All We Have starting this Friday for a minimum 7-day run. And I just wanted to say thank you. Muchas gracias, mil gracias a Liliana Lopez. Uh, and also, I know I'm missing his name. There's another gentleman, his name's right there, and I'm leaning in and I cannot see it, so I apologize. But yes, so thank you so much to Liliana Lopez. I'm going to go ahead and leave that article link in the body of this description. Also, thank you to Jeannie Joseph and the Independent Film Arizona Group for having me on this coming Tuesday. I hope you guys can make it out to All We Have on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm looking forward to and am thrilled to be speaking with you all on Tuesday. That'll be a whole lot of fun. That way I can bring value. I like to bring value in any way, shape, or form that I can through my experiences or any questions that I can ask, etc. So, with that said, why don't we go ahead and jump into you know what? I said let's make this video short, but no, let's do a marathon. So let me go ahead and put a scene from All We Have where basically Natalia and Andres meet at the bus stop. We've seen this clip, not the entire thing, but we've seen a small chunk of it in the actual trailer itself. So let me go ahead and play out the bus stop scene as a whole, and that way you can go ahead and take a look at that. We'll come back, chit chat for just a moment before jumping back into it with Mr. Paul Cicala, where we talk about Tucson on screen. So, without further ado, the bus stop scene from All We Have. I hope you can make it out this Friday, starting this Friday for minimum 7-day run at the Harkins Tucson Spectrum 18. Here we go with the bus stop scene. Enjoy.
Here, take my hand. This is it.
Hey, does your phone still work?
Yeah, usually works pretty well.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, sure. Can I help you with something?
Hey, you taking the bus?
Sitting at the bus stop would usually be an indication of that.
I meant like,
What did you mean?
do you want to ride?
Are you serious?
What?
This is how you put the moves on.
I'm not trying to put...
First you try and mow them down, then pick them up by offering them a lift? Yeah, smooth.
You know what? Never mind. I was just hoping...
To get me into some random guy's car today?
right, everyone, there you go. This opens on Friday, February 26th, 2 days from now at the Harkins Theaters, Tucson Spectrum 18, at the Spectrum Shopping Center. And I really, really hope you can come on out. I would love for you to be there. Again, CDC guidelines, mask, social distancing, etc. Once you are seated, you can. Oh, and then also they have a ventilation system to keep the airflow fresh. That way, oxygen's not stagnant. And then on top of that, once you're seated, you can take off your mask. And also, eat your popcorn, eat your munchies, etc. Once you're seated, though, from what I understand. So, CDC guidelines, otherwise, and then also if you're feeling sick, please stay home, feel better, and this movie will be available in the near future. But I would love for you to come on out to watch All We Have. Tickets are going fast, a little faster than I thought. We have some strong showings, but we still do have some seats available. I would love for you to come on out if you could. So let me go ahead and jump back into it with Mr. Paul Cicala regarding Tucson on the big screen. And, just talking, everything that came together with regards to Tucson, but more importantly, with its great people, with its great film scene that made this movie come to life. So without further ado, here's the conversation with Mr. Paul Cicala and myself. Enjoy. Friday the 26th, coming up in next week, and Saturday, a week from today, the 27th, are already really, really filling up. Filling up. Sunday, the 28th, is looking good as well. So let's go ahead and show people where they can just go on over to the Harkins website. If you just do a Google search for Harkins Theaters Tucson Spectrum 18, you'll find yourself at this window right here, which is the main one. Oddly enough, and very neat, is that like right there at the very top of the list, you have All We Have, right? So you just select the days, and then afterwards, it takes you straight to, or you select the movie, and it takes you straight to the movie page. And then
Mhm.
going off of that, you can select, the day that you want to watch it, and then the time. And just like any other normal movie, you just buy a ticket, and nothing special to do. It's like going to the movies. And so again, main page right here, all we have is toward the top, and then you just select the movie, and then go ahead and select your day and your time. It's really, really that simple. It's just like bringing anyone else to, like, a friend to the movie, and that's all we're really doing, Paul. Is we're inviting, and do recommend people come and watch this Tucson movie, because again, I was embraced by Tucson. This is one of the products of being embraced by Tucson, and I'm so proud to be able to have made this movie in Tucson, to present it to Tucson, to have Tucson on the screen in front and behind the camera, and we're going to show it in Tucson. And so, like, but what's your 2 cents, Paul? Should people come on out and watch the movie at
No,
Harkins?
100% they should come out. And I want to reiterate too that besides going on out and wanting to support somebody from Tucson, supporting local film ventures, then supporting somebody like yourself that doesn't have millions of dollars for a budget to put together a film, and you did a
Yeah,
great job. I mean, it's a good film. It's a good storyline. And I really want to talk
thank
about
you,
it
Paul.
more, but I don't want to give away the ending to the viewers because I
Yeah,
thought the ending was great. And I'm not sure if you and I talked about this off camera, but
uh,
I want to bring it on camera just to make
uh,
sure that I was really appreciative of your cinematography. I
thank
mean, I
you.
thought you did a great job during some of the emotional moments, doing the slow zooms inside and getting the facial reactions and
Yeah,
just things that aren't easy. And I mean, obviously, you and I kind of have a background. We know how to edit. We know how to put video and film together from our backgrounds in journalism and such, and to a lesser degree, filmmaking. At least on my
yeah,
part, not yours. But I feel like maybe some viewers at home may not appreciate that as much, but in the end they do because it makes it flow better. The music is at the right time, and it really is a compelling story. If you don't mind me asking, I have some questions and I don't want
yeah,
to give it away, but I mean, there's
definitely.
certain scenes that I saw, and as a Tucsoner and somebody that's from here, I take pride in seeing these landmarks of Tucson, so to say.
Yeah.
Quick question. I mean, I feel like I was able to make out a lot of the places where you'd film certain scenes, but where was that graduation ceremony filmed? That was at some sort of local park, I assume, right?
It was at a local park, and it was one of those cases where we had to do what we had to do to make it look like a graduation scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we turned a local park into a graduation scene, and that local park is over here on the east side, and it worked out just fine. And so many great people came out when I put out a Facebook post and I said, "Hey, we have a graduation scene looking for people." So many great Tucsonans, Paul, came out people that I had barely met on the spot. And they're just like, yeah, I'll be in this crazy movie without even maybe understanding the overall concept and whatnot. But yeah, local park. And let me cover some comments right here. Leila Herring
Yeah.
says, hello, you both. Great job, Edgar. Leila, thank you so much. Paul, Leila Herring is our production, our costume designer. Okay, I don't want to mess that up.
Hmm.
She's our costume designer for a few particular scenes. Leila, thank you so much for jumping in. Leila is actually one of the well-known names here in town as far as like for dress and costume design, along with Arturo Valenzuela. So Leila,
Hmm.
kudos to you. Thank you so much for being a part of this production. Charlie Min, two of the greatest guys in Tucson, two of the toughest guys in Tucson, young man, by the way.
Toughest.
This
She must be
tough guy
talking
right
about
here.
you, not me, man.
This tough guy right here. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, Paul, like and going back to your comment about, not having millions of dollars. Correct. This was not $1 million production. This was a production that came together with blood, sweat, and tears, but more than anything with grit and perseverance to make a movie come to life with the good people and the resources that we have. Now, one thing I always like to stress, Paul, is that being, I'm going to put the air quotes up here, low budget or independent or, it kind of conjures up like, okay, well, is this, what is this movie like? Is it going to be any good, right?
Yeah.
I always like to take that and then play the underdog and use that as my fuel to say, you know what, we're going to break your expectations and make a really good movie with very few dollars. And with the people that are at hand who had the kindest and biggest hearts to come on out and say, I'll be part of this crazy production, this crazy vision that Edgar had. So, yeah, that's how you make a movie because it goes to show that if you have the basics of, you know, a basic camera, basic editing system, we all have the internet, thank God. And so when you have the basics, then it just comes down to perseverance, grit, determination to get it done, to see it through. But also, most importantly, with the great help of a lot of great people that again came forward. And these were, I, I say of this of the background extras, and this is not going to surprise you, Paul. I say this of the background extras. Independent film like this is all fine and dandy, but it does not happen unless, in this case, Tucsonans came out and said, I'll be a part of that. So my heart is forever filled and grateful for exactly that. What can you add to that, Paul?
No, I can add that, and I know how hard it is to make a production, and for you to have the people come out, and not only that, but I don't know who was considered a quote unquote featured extra or who wasn't, but
Hmm.
I thought that most of the people that had even minor roles, a quick speaking role,
Yeah,
them pretending to, at the graduation ceremony, huddling around and cheering and stuff. And I
yeah,
don't know how many were actors and or how many were considered extras, but they did a great job. And at no point did I ever think that this was, this not a
yeah.
budget film, I guess you could say. This it didn't obviously, and it might have been a situation where you can't pay them a whole bunch of money.
But Paul,
But
it still works, right? It
oh,
still
big
works.
time, and
And
not
look at,
just no, but not just that, but I feel like people out there need to realize, and I know that you have to deal with these factors as well. Just because it's a quote unquote low budget
yeah.
and you don't have tens of thousands of dollars to put something together, it doesn't mean that you didn't bust your butt. I mean, I just
Oh
look at
yeah,
all the scenes and I
yeah,
can imagine how many times you probably shot each scene just to get it right. I
yeah,
mean, like 10, 15 times in some cases, probably, and then having to go through all that video and edit it and find the best stuff. And I mean, I wish people out there realize how hard it is to put together a film, especially low budget like yourself, because I'm sure that you had to pretty much do, you're grateful of all the help you had, but you in the end had to be the one that goes in and edits it and goes through all that video and, this and that. And, obviously you filmed it as well. But you know, I can see the hard work that was put in
yeah.
and I appreciate it
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
as
And
a
and
viewer.
and I know that you know what it's all about, open up a tripod, plop it down, get the camera on there and set things up. I mean, you
Mhm.
know the storytelling that goes into and the work that goes into the storytelling, Paul. I appreciate your observation of that work, brother, because I mean, man, it was blood, sweat, and tears all the way, but to bring this to life for Tucson is honestly one of my greatest dreams and whatnot. And so let's go ahead and show people once more. If they go to on over to the Harkins website, this is the main website. Movie All We Have is right there up top. Just click on the film, and then bam, you just select the day and the time that you want to check out the movie. And time slots are filling up actually, like a whole lot faster than I thought they would be filling up. But so that's pretty wild. But Yeah, bro,
Sunday
like
night though, that's key. I mean, Sunday night, I feel
yeah,
like you have some spots that are already there, and obviously you're not going to be able to get the packed house because of COVID-19 and the social distancing standards. But
let's talk about that. Yeah.
I'm not surprised you have a big commitment already. I personally will plan on being there that Sunday, a week from Sunday. Since it's my first opportunity, I'm gonna have to watch the latest showing. What's the latest showing anyway on Sunday?
Say latest
Because I
showing
do
I
work
believe
on
is at
Sunday.
7:40. 7:40 on Sunday, Paul.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be there. Count me in. I mean, I'm gonna be
Thank
working, but
you.
I'm gonna rush right over there. And I obviously have already seen it, but there's something about going in person and seeing it on the big screen that's a little bit different with the Dolby sound and everything. And
Yeah. That's right, everyone. Tickets are now available. The movie will start this Friday, in 2 days from now, on February 26th. Three screenings at night, everyone, and then, of course, a minimum 7-day run on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, up until Thursday, March 4th. And let me go ahead and bring my mug back up here on the screen. So yeah, if there's support and if there's enough of a demand, then the run will be extended. And knock on wood, right? Hope you guys heard that. But yeah, come on out. And again, gotta wear masks, gotta social distance, gotta all that good stuff. CDC guidelines. No one's saying you can't go to the movies. I want you at the movies, but you have to do it safely. Simple as that. Then when you're seated, you get your popcorn, you get your munchies, and you can take off your mask because, I've never known anyone who can eat through a mask. So once you're seated, you can take off your mask and enjoy the movie, enjoy your popcorn. I like red vines, eat those, and I would love to have you on out. So again, let's see, line of business. So tell you what, why don't we jump into, so that was Mr. Paul Cicala and I talking with regards to Tucson and Tucson on the big screen, and more importantly than Tucson as the city. Tucson's beautiful and amazing, great people in and out of the film scene who came together to make this movie happen. I want you to come on out and check this out. I want you to see this movie that, so many people put so much blood, sweat, and tears into, and said, when I just put a random post out there on a few different film groups here in town on Facebook, asking, hey, I'm doing a graduation scene or I'm doing this scene, you guys want to come on out and be background? People came out. People came out because people were hungry to be a part of something, and I'll forever, ever, forever be grateful and thank you to each and every single one of you who did come out. That's how movies like this get made because people like that say, you know what, I'm gonna help that guy Edgar and his crazy vision out. And it wasn't just me, it was many, many other people, you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into a scene where from the movie, let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the scene I call it was filmed at Tucson High, which was really gracious of the district to go ahead and let us film there. I had a blast filming there. That was Father's Day a little while back, and we had a whole Sunday from about 9 a.m. till about 5 p.m. Very long day, but very fruitful day. So here's one of the scenes. We've seen this scene, at least where Andres is hitting Natalia with the cart in the hallway of Tucson High, right toward the very front of the main building, I guess is what I would call it. So let's go ahead and watch that, come back, and then if you're just jumping into this, I'll take you back to that interview with Mr. Paul Cicala because he makes so many great points about Tucson, its great people, its beautiful scenery, its topography, everything about Tucson being in this film and how Tucson came together to make this film come together. And so, because again, I like to stress as I scratch my knee here that movies like this don't happen unless amazing people like Tucsonans came out. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the Tucson High scene of All We Have. Enjoy.
Here, take my hand. This is it. Oh! What's your problem? Yeah, I hope the rest of your stuff falls too.
Sorry about earlier.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. All We Have opens this February 26th. That's this Friday, 2 days from now. 2 days from now at the Harkins Theaters, Tucson Spectrum 18 on the south side, right off of I-19 in Irvington. Let me go ahead and bring my mug back on TV. Wait, we're not on TV. It's the internet. You know what I mean. Alrighty. Yeah, you guys, I want you there. I would love for you to enjoy this Tucson film that so many people here in Tucson put so much blood, sweat, and tears into. I'm really happy that I was able to make this film in Tucson. I'm really happy that I'm able to show this film to Tucson. This film is for you, Tucson. It's by, about, and for Tucson, and hopefully further into the future for the entire world. Right now, obviously, we're focused on Tucson with the screening coming up on Friday, but that said, yeah, that was the scene that we shot at Tucson High back in on Father's Day a few years back for All We Have, and it was one of the greatest moments to be able to film inside of Tucson High because Tucson Unified School District was so gracious. And they're basically were like, how can we help you? What do you need? Do you need the library? Do you need a classroom? Do you need hallways? And so, I kind of just laid it out. Okay, here are the scenes that I need, whatnot. They're like, cool, we will help you out. Here we go. This is how we can help you out, basically. So thank you so much to the Tucson Unified School District for providing those scenes and the many locations for these many scenes for All We Have. So Tucson High is only one part of many well, no, yeah, actually, that Tucson native and son of Tucson, Paul Cicala, talked about. We talked about so many great locations, so many great aspects of Tucson, but more importantly, the Tucson community coming together to make a movie happen, make a movie like this happen. Because I'm gonna be very honest with you guys, and I love to be crystal clear about this. Movies like this happen because a community like Tucson, in this case more like the film community, but some people from outside of the film community came together. People came together and they're like, we're going to help Edgar out with this crazy vision. And so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, everyone. I hope you guys can come on out to Harkin. So let's go ahead and jump back into that conversation. But before doing so, once more, had this article pop up en La Estrella de Tucson. Right there, periodista y cineasta de Tucson estrena película este viernes. Photojournalist and filmmaker in Tucson premieres a film this Friday. Of course, referring to All We Have. And there's also some Nikes on the screen. If you feel like buying any shoes, you just click on that ad right there. But, you know, I'm going to go ahead and put the link to this article on La Estrella de Tucson. Thank you so much to Liliana Lopez for, just hearing me out on, my journey, the journey of All We Have, etc. And I hope you can read it. It's a great article. It's a great article. I really loved it. And let me go ahead and get my mug back on here. So La Estrella de Tucson, very much spoke to, and the things that I shared with regards to Tucson being a part of this community. I wonder how much I'm saying the name Tucson, 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 because I can't stop saying it because Tucson played such a massive part in making All We Have come to life. We shot on its streets. We shot in so many different places in Tucson, a lot of restaurants, a lot of restaurant owners, a lot of business owners graciously, we had them, we approached them, and they graciously said, "You can film here. We would love for you to film here," and so we'll forever appreciate that. So, without further ado, let's talk about Tucson, Tucson in All We Have, and more importantly, the great people of Tucson that made All We Have come to life, with whom the movie could not have happened. Enjoy this conversation with Mr. Paul Cicala and myself, and I'll catch you on the other side. Friday the 26th coming up in next week and Saturday a week from today the 27th are already really really filling up. Sunday the 28th is looking good as well. So let's go ahead and show people where they can just go on over to the Harkins website. If you just do a Google search for Harkins Theaters Tucson Spectrum 18, you'll find yourself at this window right here, which is the main one. Oddly enough, and very neat, is that like right there at the very top of the list, you have all we have, right? So you just select the days, and then afterwards, it takes you straight to, or you select the movie, and it takes you straight to the movie page. And then
Mhm.
going off of that, you can select, the day that you want to watch it, and then the time. And just like any other normal movie, you just buy a ticket, and nothing special to do. It's like going to the movies. And so again, main page right here, all we have is toward the top, and then you just select the movie and then go ahead and select your day and your time. It's really, really that simple. It's just like bringing anyone else to like a friend to the movie. And that's all we're really doing, Paul, is we're inviting. And do you recommend people come and watch this Tucson movie? Because again, I was embraced by Tucson. This is one of the products of being embraced by Tucson. And I'm so proud to be able to have made this movie in Tucson, to present it to Tucson, to have Tucson on the screen in front and behind the camera, and we're going to show it in Tucson. And so, like, but what's your 2 cents, Paul? Should people come on out and watch the movie at
No,
Harkins?
100% they should come out. And I want to reiterate too that besides going on out and wanting to support somebody from Tucson, supporting local film ventures, then supporting somebody like yourself that doesn't have millions of dollars for a budget to put together a film, and you did a
Yeah,
great job. I mean, it's a good film. It's a good storyline. And I really want to talk
thank
about
you,
it
Paul.
more, but I don't want to give away the ending to the viewers because I
Yeah,
thought the ending was great. And I'm not sure if you and I talked about this off camera, but
uh,
I want to bring it on camera just to make
uh,
sure that I was really appreciative of your cinematography. I
thank
mean, I
you.
thought you did a great job during some of the emotional moments, doing the slow zooms inside and getting the facial reactions and
Yeah,
just things that aren't easy. And I mean, obviously, you and I kind of have a background. We know how to edit. We know how to put video and film together from our backgrounds in journalism and such, and to a lesser degree, filmmaking. At least on
yeah,
my part, not yours. But I feel like maybe some viewers at home may not appreciate that as much, but in the end they do because it makes it flow better. The music is at the right time, and it really is a compelling story. If you don't mind me asking, I have some questions and I don't want
yeah,
to give it away, but I mean, there's
definitely.
certain scenes that I saw, and as a Tucsoner and somebody that's from here, I take pride in seeing these landmarks of Tucson, so to say.
Yeah.
Quick question. I mean, I feel like I was able to make out a lot of the places where you'd film certain scenes, but where was that graduation ceremony filmed? That was at some sort of local park, I assume, right?
It was at a local park, and it was one of those cases where we had to do what we had to do to make it look like a graduation scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we turned a local park into a graduation scene, and that local park is over here on the east side, and it worked out just fine. And so many great people came out when I put out a Facebook post, and I said, "Hey, we have a graduation scene looking for people." So many great Tucsonans, Paul, came out. People that I had barely met on the spot, and they're just like, yeah, I'll be in this crazy movie without even maybe understanding the overall concept and whatnot. But yeah, local park. And let me cover some comments right here. Layla Herring
Yeah.
says, hello, you both. Great job, Edgar. Layla, thank you so much. Paul, Layla Herring is our production, our costume designer. Okay, I don't want to mess that up.
Mhm.
She's our costume designer for a few particular scenes. Layla, thank you so much for jumping in. Layla is actually one of the well-known names here in town as far as like for dress and costume design, along with Arturo Valenzuela. So Layla,
Mhm.
kudos to you. Thank you so much for being a part of this production. Charlie Min, two of the greatest guys in Tucson, two of the toughest guys in Tucson, young man, by the way. This
Toughest.
this
Must be
tough guy
talking
right
about
here.
you, not me, man.
This tough guy right here. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, Paul, like and going back to your comment about, not having millions of dollars. Correct. This was not a $1 million production. This was a production that came together with blood, sweat, and tears, but more than anything with grit and perseverance to make a movie come to life with the good people and the resources that we have. Now, one thing I always like to stress, Paul, is that being I'm going to put the air quotes up here, low budget or independent or, it kind of conjures up like, okay, well, is this, what is this movie like? Is it going to be any good, right?
Yeah.
I always like to take that and then play the underdog and use that as my fuel to say, you know what, we're going to break your expectations and make a really good movie with very few dollars. and with the people that are at hand who had the kindest and biggest hearts to come on out and say, I'll be part of this crazy production, this crazy vision that Edgar had. So yeah, that's how you make a movie, because it goes to show that if you have the basics of, you know, a basic camera, basic editing system, we all have the internet, thank God. And so when you have the basics, then it just comes down to perseverance, grit, determination to get it done, to see it through. But also, most importantly, with the great help of a lot of great people that again came forward. And these were, I I say of this of the background extras, and this is not going to surprise you, Paul. I say this of the background extras. Independent film like this is all fine and dandy, but it does not happen unless, in this case, Tucsonans came out and said, I'll be a part of that. So my heart is forever filled and grateful for exactly that. What can you add to that, Paul?
No, I can add that, and I know how hard it is to make a production, and for you to have the people come out, and not only that, but I don't know who is considered a quote unquote featured extra or who wasn't, but I thought that most of the people that had even minor roles, a quick speaking role,
Yeah,
them pretending to, at the graduation ceremony, huddling around and cheering and stuff. And I
yeah.
don't know how many were actors and or how many were considered extras, but they did a great job. And at no point did I ever think that this was, this not a
Yeah.
budget film, I guess you could say. This it didn't obviously, and it might have been a situation where you can't pay them a whole bunch of money.
But Paul, it, it
But
it's it still works, right? It
oh,
still
big
works,
time, and
and
not
those guys.
just no, but not just that, but I feel like people out there need to realize, and I know that you have to deal with these factors as well. Just because it's a quote unquote low budget,
Yeah.
you don't have tens of thousands of dollars to put something together, it doesn't mean that you didn't bust your butt. I mean, I just
Oh
look at
yeah.
all the scenes and I
Yeah.
can imagine how many times you probably shot each scene just to get it right. I
Yeah.
mean, like 10, 15 times in some cases, probably, and then having to go through all that video and edit it and find the best stuff. And I mean, I wish people out there realize how hard it is to put together a film, especially low budget like yourself, because I'm sure that you had to pretty much do, you're grateful of all the help you had, but you in the end had to be the one that goes in and edits it and goes through all that video and, this and that. And, obviously you filmed it as well. But, you know, I can see the hard work that was put in,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it,
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
as
And
a
and
viewer.
and I know that you know what it's all about, open up a tripod, plop it down, get the camera on there and set things up. I mean, you
Mhm.
know the storytelling that goes into and the work that goes into the storytelling, Paul. I appreciate your observation of that work, brother, because I mean, man, it was blood, sweat, and tears all the way, but to bring this to life for Tucson is honestly one of my greatest dreams and whatnot. And so let's go ahead and show people once more. If they go on over to the Harkins website, this is the main website. Movie All We Have is right there up top. Just click on the film, and then bam, you just select the day and the time that you want to check out the movie. And time slots are filling up actually, like a whole lot faster than I thought they would be filling up. But so that's pretty wild. But yeah, Paul,
Sunday
like
night though, that's key. I mean, Sunday night, I feel
yeah.
like you have some spots that are already there, and obviously you're not going to be able to get the packed house because of COVID-19 and the social distancing standards. But
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
I'm not surprised you have a big commitment already. I personally will plan on being there that Sunday, a week from Sunday, since it's my first opportunity. I'm gonna have to watch the latest showing. What's the latest showing anyway on Sunday?
Say latest
Because I
showing,
do
I
work
believe,
on
is at
Sunday.
7:40. 7:40 on Sunday, Paul.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be there. Count me in. I mean, I'm going to be
Thank
working, but
you.
I'm going to rush right over there. And I obviously have already seen it, but there's something about going in person and seeing it on the big screen that's a little bit different with the Dolby sound and everything. And
Yeah. That's right, everyone. All We Have starts on Friday the 26th, and I got confused because I was looking at tickets now available, because tickets are actually now available. You can buy them at the Harkins Theaters Tucson Spectrum 18 website, or just right there at the box office also. But I do recommend that you get them beforehand also, because tickets were actually going by a whole lot quicker than I anticipated, starting I think about a week ago now. So they've been on, we've already had some strong showings, thankfully, and thank you to every single one who has purchased tickets. I really, really do appreciate it. I had to take a moment to stop and think about my words because sometimes my mouth goes faster than my brain can come up with the words. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much who has supported this film so far. I hope you enjoy the film starting for its minimum 7-day run, starting this Friday, February 26th. It was a movie that was made with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of Tucson people in front of and behind the camera put their heart and their souls into this film, for whom I will be eternally grateful for the rest of my days. And I hope you enjoy this film. Now, again, CDC guidelines. Gotta wear a mask. Gotta social distance. They're spreading out the start times for the movies. That way people aren't congregating. That way, you don't have to, it's not gonna be a tight space with a lot of people. When you are seated, if you get munchies, take off your mask when you are seated, from what I understand, and then you can eat your munchies, okay? But when you are seated, from what I understand. And of course, they have a ventilation system. And so I, I, I'm trying to basically help you guys understand that I would love for you guys to come on out there. That said, I do have to say the following too. If you choose to not come, I also will understand. There will be no hurt feelings on my behalf. But that said, I would like for you to come and enjoy this movie. So many people have worked so hard to make happen here in Tucson. It's literally a film shot in Tucson. Very much not quite directly about Tucson, but Tucson basically plays a role in the movie. With so many great Tucson people in front of and behind the camera. We're screening it in Tucson at the Harkins. Thank you to all the good people of Harkins for giving All We Have a shot. And it's for you guys, Tucson. I hope you guys can come on out, and I hope you guys can support this film by simply doing nothing more, nothing less than just coming to a movie if you see fit. I would definitely love to have you there, and from the bottom of my heart, a massive, massive thanks. So yeah, without further ado, let me go ahead and close on out. Thank you so much to Mr. Paul Cicala and also to Liliana Lopez for the article, for taking the time to hear me out on the story behind All We Have, on the story behind myself, all the years. As a filmmaker here in Tucson. And this can be found in the link that I will put in the body of the description of this video, as well as in the comments, along with the link to purchase tickets in the body of the video. This can be found in La Estrella de Tucson. It's in Spanish, and the title here, for example, says photojournalist and filmmaker in Tucson premieres new film this Friday. So thank you so much to Liliana Lopez for writing the article, and I really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys can come on out and enjoy this Tucson movie. What movie am I talking about? Well, let me go ahead and throw the trailer at you. And by the way, the reason why the trailer was the last thing I wanted to throw at you is because we've all seen it a million times. I've seen it 1.5 million times. So I wanted to show you guys, like, the different scenes and whatnot as we bounce back and forth with Mr. Paul Cicala and myself. But without further ado, let's go ahead and close out on the trailer. And I would love for you to be there starting for a minimum day run at the Harkins Tucson Spectrum on the south side for a minimum 7 days, starting this Friday, February 26th. Love you guys all. Thank you so much for listening to my craziness. And let's go ahead and close on out with the trailer. I will talk to you guys later, and I will see you guys on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, starting on Friday the 26th at the movies. And if I could, let me see. Okay, yep, there you go. Bye.
Here, take my hand. This is it. Oh! What's your problem? Yeah, I hope the rest of your stuff falls too.
Sorry about earlier.
Can I help you with something?
Do you want to ride?
You still owe me.
What?
Yeah, the ride.
Taxi for Miss Natalia? Where would you like to go today?
Do you like riddles? Surprise!
Are you two dating? If you hurt her in any way, oh,
Look, man, you don't know me. But I suggest you get that macho bullshit out of my face before I put you in your place, homie.
we're just trying trying to make some little shit. Apparently. You don't know me?
I'm falling in love with you.
What did I say? Did I say something wrong?